Happy Friday! I forgot to film a video for this, so it is now 8 o'clock on Friday. I'm filming this now. I'm gonna edit, upload it straight away. Also, the dishwasher is running, so there's a lot of great background noise. Also, I'm in a very echoey room. Production value, not my best today. Also, where are my books? They're not here. I am staying at my aunt's house for a few weeks, which is why my schedule has been all over the place and there are no books to be seen behind me. So I'm just gonna do a cozy weekend reading video, really. I have a very cozy weekend ahead of me. I'm gonna be doing a lot of snuggling on the sofa and reading books and not too much else, which is grand. So, I've got 4 whole books here. I'm obviously not going to read all of these books because my reading speeds have slowed dramatically the last couple of months, but I should be able to get to a few of them, and I haven't decided yet which ones, so I'm going to tell you about them all. Firstly, the book I'm currently reading. This is the other Bennet sister, and I am like 2/3 of the way through, loving it. So this is a book that is coming out in January, and it's Pride and Prejudice, but from Mary Bennet's point of view, or at least the first bit of it is, like part 1 is the story that we know, the whole story of Pride and Prejudice from Mary's point of view, and then it like jumps forward, so part 2 just says like 2 years later, and then we jump forward to when Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy are married and Jane and Mr. Bingley are married. And the rest of it is just new story that Janice Hadlow has made up. My favourite bit was the beginning, just because I know the story of Pride and Prejudice so well that hearing that story through Mary's point of view was just the best, especially like, oh, because Mary's such a like just comic relief character in the original one, and there's all of these jokes at her expense, which I always found so funny in Pride and Prejudice, particularly the line, "You've delighted us long enough." Me and my dad quote that to each other all the time, and then suddenly hearing those stories from Mary's point of view was just absolutely heartbreaking. Like, totally ruined that quote for me. I'll never be able to say it and laugh again because that scene was just devastating. So that was my favourite, but I'm so enjoying it, and I really love now this new story we're developing. I think Janice Hadlow's done a really good job of writing it like Jane Austen would. She's really nailed Jane Austen's way of talking and her way of building characters. Yeah, I'm really into it. For an Austen fan, this is brilliant. I'm always kind of wary of this kind of thing, of having a new person reimagine somebody else's characters, or even just historical fiction in general. Often isn't my favourite. I prefer to like either read books that were written at that time or contemporary books that are set now. But this one is just pulling off so well. You could almost believe if someone was like, we found this in a drawer and Jane Austen wrote it, you could almost believe that. So once I finish reading that one, which I hopefully will soon, I have 3 other books to choose from next. So this one, gorgeous proof. Look at that foil. Can you see it? Can you see the shine? Yeah, there you go. This is The Animals at Lockwood Manor by Jane Healey. So this is set in World War I or II? Let's check that. It's set in World War II, and it's about a girl who is tasked with keeping safe all of the like taxidermied animals from the Natural History Museum. They're all evacuated to this manor house, and it's her job to look after them. So that sounds like it's gonna be this like really creepy setting with all of these spooky taxidermy animals, and then it is kind of like a ghostly story, I believe. I don't know if it's actually supernatural, but like a creepy story where sort of someone or something seems to be stalking her in this house. I also believe there is going to be a queer love story. That's kind of how it's like setting it up from the blurb. Between the girl who's our main character and then the daughter of the lord who owns that manor. So that also sounds great and so pretty. That's a reason to read a book. Okay, then I have The Ditch by Herman Koch. So he wrote The Dinner, which is a book that I absolutely loved. It was really intense, really disturbing, but I loved it. I haven't read anything else by him. The Dinner was a book that I wouldn't even say I enjoyed it. It's one of those where you're reading it and you're just like, oh, the whole way through, like, this is so disturbing and all these people are so unlikable, but it's just absolutely gripping. I love that kind of thing. I love the colour scheme of this book, and it sounds again like it's going to be a really dark one. So it's about a guy who starts to suspect that his wife is cheating on him, and then he becomes completely consumed with jealousy, and it's basically about his obsession with that idea. But then it like blurs the lines of like, is he being jealous and paranoid, or is he actually finally seeing the truth? So it's kind of going to make us also as the reader start to question things and think about who we can trust and what we've been deluding ourselves to. And the last line of the blurb is, and is it when we are depressed that we see the world most clearly? Which is like such a dangerous idea. So this sounds like it's going to be really dark, but like contrasted with a really light, bright cover and the end papers and stuff. So into that. And then finally I have Akin by Donoghue. So I've read so far of hers Room, which is brilliant, and The Wonder, which was brilliant. And I've got Frog Music back at home to read. This is her latest one, and this sounds like it's gonna be really moving, so I'm really into the idea of this. It's about a, how old is he, like 80-year-old man. Some quite old man named Noah, who suddenly finds that he's got custody of his 11-year-old great nephew who didn't know before, who's called Michael, and they very different backgrounds. Like, Michael's had this really hard life, this really tough upbringing, and I think his father's just died and his mother's just gone to prison, or the other way around. Anyway, so suddenly Noah's looking after him, but Noah was about to set off for a trip to France to look into his ancestors, so he brings Michael with him. And it's just about these two characters and then their massive differences, and then the way that they also, the things that they have in common, and the way that they start to bond over their shared experiences of life. And then also apparently it's got like family secrets that Noah's uncovering while he's in France. And Emma Donoghue is just a brilliant writer, so I trust her to do wonders with this story. So there you go, that was a cozy little Friday reads, weekend reads, whatever these videos are called. If you have read any of these or have ideas about which ones I should read first, let me know below and I'll check the comments over the weekend and then make my decision. But I think this is a really fun selection of books. I'm excited about whichever one I end up picking up. So give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because I post new videos twice a week usually when I get on top of my shit, which I will try to do. Okay, bye! See you, bye!